All right, now that we're recording, please adhere to the Kumradi's Code of Conduct and their for the CNCF Code of Conduct if they have one. I hope that's all I'm supposed to say. Be nice to people. Anyway, add your name to the meeting agenda, the notes. If you're here, I'll paste it in the chat. Thanks for coming, guys. Especially since things have been so crazy. Okay, and so today we're gonna go through our open discussion items and see where we end up. So the first thing is we're trying to create, oh, actually I missed one thing. Do we have any new members that want to introduce themselves that haven't been to a meeting yet?
Hi, this is my first meeting.
Hi. Gonna give us a name and then like your company, where you're here.
My name is Igor. I'm in Microsoft. I actually just recently joined, so this is my just kind of getting up to date with everything meeting. So I'll just be in the background listening.
Cool. Welcome.
Hi, Igor.
Anybody else? James, you haven't come to a meeting, have you?
I joined a month ago, I think.
Oh, cool. Then you don't have to say anything. Cool. And do we have a note taker? Who wants to be a note taker?
Ooh, I forgot. I'm happy to do it.
Okay, your notes are amazing. I love them. All right, cool. So now I think we're ready to actually start. Sorry about that. Okay, so first thing, we created a doodle poll for the CAPZ office hours. If you guys want more times to be included, just go ahead and just ping me on Slack and let me know. But if not, go ahead and fill it out. We're trying to find something that matches for more people in the UTC time zone or any other time zone. So we might just keep it at the same time. But there's a couple options for Thursday and Friday. I didn't add any other days just because it was kind of complicated. So
I just pasted the link in the chat.
Cool. I think Steven just put his own link up there. So yeah, I think you have the right one. That's good. Oh, okay, yeah, we should be good. We'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, and now we're using, or Cecile, do you want to make the next announcement about?
Yes, what was it again? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Just FYI, as CAPI is releasing new upstream release candidates for the 0.3.0 release, we're trying to stay pretty close with those, and so we're at RC3 now. So let us know if you notice any breaking changes, and I hope I wasn't cutting out.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. And that's it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, the next thing, we're going to discuss the enhancement proposal. And I think is that David? Is that yours?
Yeah, I put that on there, but I think
yeah, no,
David should cover it.
I was also just looking
Sorry.
at it. I think it's a good idea that we do cover it. David, do you want to give a little bit of background for folks that may not be up to date?
Yeah, super. Thanks for the time to discuss this. Of course, we added the label for proposals. So anybody, please add your enhancement proposals. But also beyond that, this particular enhancement proposal, it kind of seems logical that CAPZ provider and other providers that integrate with cloud infrastructure. Really, the providers take some abstract model and then transform that model into some declarative state for the cloud provider, or whatever your end resources are. So just if you have virtual machines, network, infrastructure, all these items end up being just a transform. So take it in a cluster definition and transform it into this infrastructure definitions. So if we break it down like that, and we have another controller that's actually responsible for reconciling those infrastructure definitions, then a cluster API provider becomes like super simple. It has only a dependency on the API server. It is itself just a transform. So take in state, transform state, drop it in API server. To me, that makes testing CAPZ seem a heck of a lot easier, and just writing new functionality a little bit easier. Particularly when we have these dependencies on the SDKs for each cloud. Each one has their own kind of idiosyncrasies. If we could factor that out, I think it would be greatly helpful. Anybody have any questions?
What would you see as the first step to go towards implementing this?
Great question. So the first step, and something I'm actually pursuing right now, I think is figuring out, putting together basics for an infrastructure provider. Like what would that actually look like? And what would those resources look like? How would the interaction between CAPZ and an infrastructure provider look? Are there some ergonomics that we would need to look at? So I think the first thing is putting together some CRDs and an API that CAPZ could take advantage of for maybe a small subset of resources, and kind of pick away at those little by little until we have more coverage for those resources. Do you have a suggestion? Do you have an implementation path or any ideas?
I think that makes sense. And I think I mentioned this to you before, but I'd love to have a way to test this out without, completely replacing the SDK used right now, and having it as a parallel path, like maybe like a feature flag or something.
That's a fantastic idea. Yeah, absolutely. Having those in parallel would be awesome. Hey, this one works the same way as that one, apples to apples, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And another question, I guess that's more of a question for everyone else here, but do we think that for this kind of proposal, like I know it wasn't really clear last time when we talked about how we should do the proposal process. Do we think an issue with like a discussion and comments is enough, or do we want to go further and do like a doc or like even a CAP? What do people think?
I think if the issue has enough discussion, that's probably enough. If there's like a bigger design considerations, then maybe like a doc for people to collaborate on. But that for this case here, since it will have like a follow-up PR to show like a POC or something, feels like the issue is probably enough conversation on it. Like I don't know what else you would put in a doc.
Yeah, it sounds good for me too.
Does that sound good to you, David?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So I guess the next step for this would be like a PR. Is that what I'm hearing? We're ready to kind of see those CRDs come into play. Also, Richard commented with the AWS service operator, and Google also has their infra, like their config connector. It's something that we're definitely looking at within Azure. Like, how do we consolidate all of these different operators that we have? So it is an ongoing discussion internally, but yeah.
Is the thought right now to have this as like a separate repo or just like a part of this? Because there was some discussion about that.
So I think Jason, was Jason the one that said that? Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. They can be separate repos and just have a dependency on the API structure. I think that would be reasonable. Definitely have it open source though. That's one of the things that like totally worries me about like the config connector is I would love to see other providers take a dependency like this, but it would be really scary if that dependency is purely or is not open source, is not source available. So it's worrying. Nate, did you have an opinion on that? Would you prefer that they were together? Would you prefer that they're separate?
Separate feels like a good idea. Will make it easier, at least for the PUC and like testing it and all that. I don't know what kind of process is required, but is it an option to have it like part of the same org? Or is that like an impossible thing to do? I have no idea.
I think it's
think that sounds great.
possible. It's possible. It's definitely a heavy process. So maybe we should do that as a, not as a blocker, you know?
Yeah. No, it's not a blocker.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice to be able to iterate quickly on it, and then because I mean, honestly, I think if we get an infrastructure provider, it has to be something that is able to be generated, is able to be up to date with Azure constantly. So part of that is going to be a fair amount of R&D, I think. But once it gets done, that would be a really fantastic thing to donate. Like that would be great to get it. Just here it is. Take it CNCF.
Yeah, it doesn't matter actually if they take it or not, as long as it's like open source and available and people can just get it. I mean, you'd have to kind of do that to make it a dependency, I guess, or else that would be a problem. So, yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Any other comments for that item?
We should keep this conversation going on the issue. You know, it doesn't have to stop now if people think of questions later.
Yes. Cool. Sounds good. I attempted to write notes for that, so feel free to fix them up if it doesn't make it too much sense. All right. Okay. So next point, support deploying a cluster using custom Kubernetes builds. Cecile, take it away.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what what's top of my mind right now and what I'm working on, and which also made me think we should go through the project board after this and just like briefly touch on anything that's merged in the last 2 weeks and anything that's in progress right now. But yes, so the custom Kubernetes build thing, basically the idea behind this is I want to be able to use Cluster API Azure to test upstream Kubernetes. And so that's both to run conformance tests and also to eventually, maybe be able to use Cluster API for some of the SIG Azure test grid jobs. Because right now, a lot of them use AKS engine, and we just want to have, both options. And I think use that also as a benchmark of how, far along Cluster API Azure is. And, if there are things that we can't use in TestGrid, then what is missing in CAPZ? What do we need to add as a functionality to make that, to have that parity? So that's the concept. In terms of the implementation, let me try to find, I had the link of the issue in the doc, but yeah, so here's the issue. And I've actually documented my current thought process in a comment. So I'd love to have feedback on that if people have time to take a look and let me know what you think. But basically where I'm at right now, I think there's 3 ways to kind of achieve what we want. The first one is to build a custom image with that Kubernetes upstream build and put that in the image directly and then deploy CAPZ as usual. The second one is use an existing image, but then, well, both of the other two are sort of last mile, but basically be able to take an existing image that has a different Kubernetes version installed, and then in like the setup, so in the kubectl config, pass in a pre-kubectl command that basically replaces the Kubernetes version installed. So pulls the new image and then like installs it and does stuff around that. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Please take a look. Let me know if you have questions or thoughts, or if you're confused about why I'm working on this.
Cool, thank you. Anyone have anything to add? We can do it part of the issue too, so. Cool, let's keep going. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the board and see if there's any cleanup we can do here. So let me share my screen. I hope it doesn't share like the wrong screen. Desktop too. Yes. Okay, can you guys see my very large screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so maybe we can go through the backlog a little bit and then try and move stuff and then try and move some of the to-dos and in progress and see if those are still relevant. Because I see this enhancement proposal where that's technically, I'm gonna put that as a to-do until we get a PR for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, all these E2E tests. Are we working on any of these?
One of them is actually in progress, but it's not in here. It's
Oh.
already in the right column.
Perfect.
But something great that happened this week, I think it just merged actually, but we switched to using the upstream cluster API test framework. So before that, Javier had done some really good work to like add the capability to use the framework, but because we weren't using V1 Alpha 3 yet, we can actually use the real framework. So we had a copy, like a forked version of the framework in our files that we were using. And so now we're back to using upstreams.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Is that represented as an issue up here?
I think it might be in done if it just merged. Yeah, it's the first
Oh,
one.
here it is. Cool.
It's merged.
Yay. It works. Cool. Okay, let's keep going through this backlog. Okay, support for AKS. I don't think we've started doing anything for that, for managed clusters yet.
No, I think James had some interest in working with some other folks in CAPI about the proposal.
Cool. Sounds good. We can just keep it, I mean, we can keep it in the backlog until we specifically start working on it for AKS.
Yeah, my time is pretty light that I can contribute, but plan on doing a little bit of every week. So
Cool. Sounds good. Windows worker nodes. Really want to do that. But we haven't started working on it. GPU nodes.
Oh,
Good.
that one, re-enable multi-control plane, that's actually in progress, I think.
Cool.
Right? Yeah.
Unlinked pull request. Yeah, it seems like it would be in progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it, but now I had to redo it based on the framework that just got merged. So I'm kind of changing. That's okay. Hopefully we'll be better.
Okay, we'll keep it here then.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep the backlog as it is for now, unless anyone sees anything that we should move over. Okay. All right, so the to-dos, add integration tests for Kubernetes. So this was the conformance testing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of looking at that. It's still to do because I kind of paused on working on it to go work on the custom Kubernetes build.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Enhancement proposal, that is also in to do. Control plane SG is open to the internet. It's a bug. Has anyone looked at this?
Javier, have you had any time to take a look?
Hey guys, I did not start. I'm planning to do that soon. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. We'll keep that in the to-do column for now then.
Yeah.
Okay. Add tracing and metrics. Pretty sure this was David who's working on it. Do you think we can move this into in progress, or there's no link PR, so I'm guessing no?
Yeah, negative Ghost Rider.
Okay, cool. We'll keep it in to do then. Alrighty. Enable accelerated networking on VM sizes that support it. I know we were investigating.
Yeah. So Matt Boardman is actually going to look into that. He's not on the call. He works at Microsoft for people who don't know him, but he's going to help with us with this.
Awesome. Okay, we'll keep it there then. Use MSI to authenticate. This is something that I really wanted to see get done, but I don't know if we've actually started looking at it. I might move it to the backlog if it's not assigned to anybody.
So I think Nader was going to start looking into this.
Yes, I haven't started, but I'm planning to start.
Okay. Do you want to assign yourself to this guy?
Sure.
Cool. Thank you. That'll just help for the future. Add IPv6 support. Cecile, do you know if?
No one's working on that. That one's up for grabs.
Okay.
Hi guys, can I just throw in my recent experience with IPv6 on Azure? So is this for IPv6 only or a dual stack support?
Both. I think we'd want to start with dual stack.
Yeah, because if you go with the IPv6 only, there's an issue in the way that Azure network interface cards always require IPv4 as the primary and then IPv6 as a secondary. And the kubelet actually picks up the primary, like IPv4 by default. Apparently there's a fix for that in 1.18 version of Kubernetes, but just so you guys are aware of that.
Yeah, so actually some of the people on my team are involved in doing the work in Kubernetes upstream to enable IPv6. And I know that that was a blocker until now, so we only had dual stack enabled for some of our other projects. And they're just starting to add single stack right now. So yeah, I think you're right about 118.
Okay. Should we move this into the backlog?
Sure, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move it into the backlog for now until we kind of get past upstream - we get someone assigned to it. So if anyone wants to assign themselves to it, go for it. Always happy to see that. Okay, node ref is only set on a machine when the sync period is expired.
I was looking at this one. I don't think this is really anything to work on. It's like describing the behavior of how cluster API works, that
Okay.
it just has to wait for the sync period to reconcile and then find changes. I posted a comment to ask like the person who created the issue, but he hasn't applied. So
Okay. I'll just keep it in to do for now until we get a resolution on it then. Enable milestone applier on the repo. That happened, right?
No, I don't think
No?
so.
What is this? Let's click on it.
That's Steven said he was going to add this tool that can automatically apply milestones.
I see. Okay. Well, we'll just keep it there since it's assigned to somebody. Maybe after, like maybe at the next meeting, if we don't see movement on some of these, we can swap them out to the backlog and kind of do it like that. Okay. So in progress, I would assume that all of these are correct, but let's just go through it anyway. Remove examples and switch, add cluster template. Cecile.
Yeah, that's in progress right now.
Cool. And then enable 3 nodes E2E test.
Yep.
Cool. Enable validation, conversion, and defaulting webhooks.
Yeah, this is sort of in review in progress because it goes with the other two that are in that column.
Okay. Okay.
We can move it to review in progress because it's part of the same PR, I think.
Yeah, it's
Correct?
part of the same PR.
Okay. Moved. Thank you. Investigate VMSS in progress, right? By Juan Lee. Engineering, release engineering tooling.
I'm not sure what that means
Okay.
or if anything's happening on that.
Let's click on it. Let's find out. Oh, it's just the bot. Okay, I'm gonna move this to the backlog since no one's assigned and it isn't super clear. Where was that guy? Is that okay with everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
To the backlog it goes. Okay, re-enable multi-control plane E to E. There's a linked
Yeah.
pull request.
Yeah, that's the one I'm working on.
Cool.
I thought we already saw it before.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
this is the issue.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's still not review in progress because it's kind of
Oh, you're still kind of blocked on it. Gotcha.
yeah, it's in
Sorry.
progress. Yeah, it's not reviewable yet.
Yeah, the more I do this, the more I'll get used to which issues we've seen
Yes, okay.
are assigned and where they are. Okay, get cluster cuddle v2 working with CAPZ.
Yeah, that's the issue that goes with that first pull request. Yeah. Also, I think you skipped the service unit test one.
Oh,
But yeah, so that one, we're actually really close because we got a lot of really good help on this, and I think there's only one left out of 13. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it
awesome,
says,
yeah.
12 out of 13. So if anyone wants to grab the last one, we can close the issue after that. It's a good introduction to the repo, like for people looking for first good issues, good first issues.
Okay, cool.
If the person who said that was working on it, I can't remember their name, doesn't pick it up, I can just do it like Monday or something.
Oh yeah, true. There was someone who did say they were going to work on it. I think it's been a few weeks/month now.
Oh.
So yeah, we can probably reassign if they don't pick it up.
Okay, and then support deploying a cluster with using a custom Kubernetes build. I know, Cecile, you were working on this, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, we'll keep those in progress then. And then review in progress. Do all these look okay? So we just put them there. So and then done should just all be done. Okay, and is there anything missing? So the backlog, I think we can do that later though. Okay. Thanks guys, that was great. Now I think we're like actually up to date with this, and it'll be really easy to keep it cleaned each meeting and while things are happening. Okay, let's see if we have, I'm gonna stop sharing for now. Everyone knows KubeCon was delayed, so all of our talks will be happening later. And was there anything else that anyone wanted to talk about?
I just want to add, if anyone who's joining the meeting and kind of just watching the progress of this project and wants to see things happen, please open issues and put them in the backlog, so we know kind of like what things are missing and who wants what. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Productive meeting, guys. Thank you. We'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks, but sign up on that doodle poll and we'll hopefully add the new meeting time and the days to our GitHub repo, because I know right now that's not expressed on our like first page README, but we'll add that once we come to a conclusion.
Yeah, and let's post the doodle poll on Slack as well for people who didn't make it to this meeting.
True.
Yeah.
Will do. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ria.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.